Living abroad changes you in ways that most people don't talk about. And so, after experiencing a life in Southeast Asia, especially here in Thailand, going back to America doesn't make sense to me anymore, you guys, at least right now, right? I'm not just talking about, palm trees, beaches, cheap food, right? I'm talking about safety, the way people treat you, politics, race aren't dictating the way you breathe here. Being here has shown me a different kind of peace and quality of life that I never had in the States. So, in this video, I'm breaking down exactly why Southeast Asia feels like home to me and why the US no longer does. All right, guys, so it's a little bit loud in here, so I'm putting my mic close. All right, so first things first, let's talk about safety and peace of mind. That is one of the main reasons why my family and I wanted to move abroad, was to be in a safer country, because let's be real, it does not matter where you are in the US, okay? It is not necessarily safe. It doesn't matter if you live in a more like upscale area, okay? You may go out somewhere, you may go out to the movies, to a restaurant, you just never know what is going to pop off. You just never know who is not going to be having a good day and just feel like popping off, you know? So safety is a big thing, or was one of the biggest things. Nowhere is crime free, right? Nowhere is 100% crime free, but there is a level of peace and safety here that we have been experiencing in Southeast Asia that we absolutely love. And I'm saying Southeast Asia for context, you guys, is because we have, at least for me, I know, I have fallen in love with number one, Bali, Indonesia. We've been to like Jakarta as well, but Bali, Indonesia has such a special place in my heart. So I have fallen in love with Bali, Indonesia. That's one of my favorite places. Malaysia as well. Malaysia is so underrated, you guys. I'll probably put some clips in here, but I did a vlog the other day about, us visiting Malaysia, and oh my gosh, Malaysia also has another piece of our heart. And so that's why I'm saying like Southeast Asia, because we may be hopping around. We may not be here in Bangkok, Thailand, which is where I'm currently based at right now. We may not be here forever, and so that's why I'm like referring to Southeast Asia. Vietnam, I feel like Vietnam is going to be a vibe too. I have not been there yet, but I see a lot of people are falling in love with Vietnam, and I could see how I could easily fall in love with Vietnam. Again, haven't been there yet to experience it myself. We were supposed to go there this year, but we were trying to do the visa stuff, and it was just like they were a little bit complex, and the time was coming up for our departure when we wanted to go, and so we just decided to go somewhere else. Because yes, you do need a visa to go to Malaysia. It's pretty straightforward supposedly, and it's only like $25 and stuff like that. But when submitting like your pictures and stuff like that, it can be very, very, very finicky online, and they'll like deny you for little things like, oh, your hair is short in this picture, but your hair is long here. It's really weird. Anyway, that's beside the point. And so that's one of the reasons why I refer to Southeast Asia in general. Another thing is, like I said before, you guys, here feels just so much calmer and safer. Like in the US, I mean, I used to look over my shoulder for every little thing. If I'm at the movies, okay, I'm looking at where the nearest exit is. I don't know if it's just a military thing or whatnot. I feel like I used to be that way before, perhaps, even before the military. Some of you may know or may not know, I was in the United States Air Force as a reservist. I was not active duty. I did some active duty tours and some active duty time, but I was mostly a reservist. I still had like regular jobs, businesses outside of the military. But anyway, I would always look over my shoulder because you hear so many stories. This person went in here for no reason. Like you hear the school shoot that happens so often. I feel like America is the number one. Well, I don't want to say this because I don't know if that is correct. I have to check the stats. But you hear about so many school shootings in America alone. It is insane. In other countries, I'm not saying there's absolutely none, but the number is definitely incomparable. I mean, you can't compare it to the US. And so that's one of the reasons why we're like, we're absolutely not going to put our child or children in public school, even though for a while I have been thinking about homeschooling. That's something that I am passionate about doing. And so that just drove me to drove my desire even higher to homeschool with the whole school, school shooting rate. And not just that, not just the safety in schools, you guys, the literacy rate. Can we talk about that? Like, can we really, really please take a pause and talk about that? Like, America has always, for a long time, is not in terms of academics. They've always been a little bit behind, even behind like certain Caribbean countries. Like, I was actually born and spent most of all of my childhood years in Jamaica. And I am telling you that the education system is so much more advanced in Jamaica. I think they go based off the British system as well. And so even in different countries in Africa and even countries in like Asia, they have a more advanced system in the US. But okay, that's one thing. But it's the fact that now they are advancing children to higher grades, regardless of whether or not they can read or whether or not they are at the literacy level. That is not right. You are doing children a disservice by putting them into higher grades. They're going to feel left behind and they're going to be left behind, right? And so it's just a lot. They're pushing things on children that it's not relevant to school. Leave that to the parents, right? Especially at a certain age. Like, why are we introducing certain things to children at such a young age? Just all of those things that comes to it. So I knew that public school was definitely not an option for us. So yeah, that's number one. I know I'm talking about safety and then I went to schooling, but it somewhat ties in. So yeah, safety, peace of mind is one thing. We don't walk around with like constant fear or tension of what's going to happen. In the US, when I would go to the malls, be in the malls, I am looking around, you guys. If somebody looks suspicious, what's the nearest exit? Where am I going to go first? What am I going to do next? Like, those are the thoughts that go through my mind when I'm in public places in the US, you guys. No kidding, okay? I do not have those same thoughts here in Southeast Asia. I'm not saying that everywhere, I'm not saying that Southeast Asia is like 100% crime free and there may not be some pickpocketing and stuff like that. But it's so safe, you guys. I guarantee you that I could leave my book bag there, close my laptop, probably leave my laptop. There's like staff walking around, serving, doing stuff like that. And I could leave my stuff here and nobody would bother it. Nobody would even look twice to snatch it. Now, I'm not saying that it will never happen. It may not happen, but I'm saying the chances are very low, especially depending on like where you are. The chances of that happening is just so low. I would never dare do that in the US. And just little things like that. We love how safe we feel here. Now, I'm not saying that we don't experience unfortunate things. Okay, like there are natural disasters and stuff like that that may happen. I understand that nowhere is perfect, but to be honest, you guys, I will take this over what I've experienced in the US. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the next thing. Let's talk about political climate, right, versus in the US. Now, politics is everywhere, right? Politics is everywhere, but I feel like in Southeast Asia, it's not in your face 24/7. I feel like in the US, it's like 24/7. You're not at war with your neighbors because of your belief, different things like that. Like, that's just not a thing, here at least, right? People can live in harmony, people can live in peace, regardless of like their political views and stuff like that. In the US, it's like if you don't believe what somebody else's believe or you're not on their side, it's a whole thing. People are literally being murdered just because of their political views or even murder attempts. Okay, if you pay attention, just because of their political views in the US, right? Road rage, all of those things, like it's just getting out of control. And again, I did a video the other day saying that the US is somewhere that I wanted to love, like as someone who also like served in the military. I think now is a better time for me to like really share my thoughts and like how I feel and how I've been feeling about the US since I'm somewhat, separated. Now, I'm not like bashing entirely the US because the US can do better, right? They can do better. They just don't want to. And it's very unfortunate. And so I am not here just to like bash the US. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had, while living in the US. I'm not saying I'll never ever go back. I don't know, when I'll visit back. I'm not saying I'll never go back, right? And I'm eternally grateful for the people that I've met, the experiences that I've been able to experience, the things that I've been able to experience, all of those things, right? I'm just in this video sharing why Southeast Asia feels more like home to me. And, some of the things that the US can do better with. It's not like they can't. That's the thing. I understand that there are some countries where it's kind of like out of their control to make certain things better. It's really far fetched. But the US, they're spending money on the wrong things. They can do so much better, and that's the issue that I'm having. Anyway, so we are talking about the political climate, right? It's not necessarily a thing here. Like, you're not at war with your neighbor just because of your political views. Now, let's talk about racial tension. It is a night and day difference here, you guys. It's a night and day difference. Like in the US, like before you have a conversation, like your skin color is the first topic, right? It's like your color matters before anything else. Here, what I experience in Southeast Asia is that I'm human first. And it's mostly so if somebody's more curious about where you're from or your background, it's more so, okay, what country are you from, or where did you fly in from, or whichever. And when they find out, they will say stuff like, oh wow, that's like really far, or like what brought you here, and stuff like that. Like, in my opinion, me personally, because everybody has their own experiences, everybody's life experiences is different. My experience here has been that I have been treated as human first. I am treated with the most utmost respect. With the most utmost respect, you guys. It is unbelievable how kind these people in Southeast Asia have been to me, whether in Malaysia, whether in Bali, Indonesia, Jakarta. Jakarta is a little iffy. It depends. There's some things that I've said to people that they don't really respond. Maybe I've been saying it wrong because I've been trying to speak the local language. Wherever I go, I try to speak the local language. But I never ever felt like I've been treated negatively necessarily because of my skin color. Okay, maybe it has happened before. I'm not sure, but I can't really remember. I can't really recall, to be honest with you, right? They treat my baby, you guys, my entire family, with the utmost respect. They genuinely love babies here in Thailand. Overall in Asia, we've experienced that. They genuinely love babies, and they treat our son or baby so well. Like, you can see that they're so genuine. They're not just pretending or acting like just to be nice per se, but it's so genuine, so genuine. And we feel so comfortable around, the local people, the local Thai people. So that's one of the things that we love about Thailand, and that's one of the differences, right? I am treated as human first before anything else. And I'm not walking around being tense about microaggressions or anything like that. It does not happen here, at least amongst the local people. There are foreigners who come here, right? There are foreigners who travel far. And I haven't really experienced that per se, even with like really foreigners. I'm not necessarily around a lot of foreigners, except for when I go to my church. My church is very multicultural. It has over 50 nationalities, people from all over the world, different countries in Africa, from Nigeria to South Africa to all over the world. People from Australia, people from the UK, black, white, Indian, like all different types of people go to my church. And that's the one time that I am around like a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds at once. But in general, it's just such a relief to not be around like microaggressions all the time. Okay, number 4, let's talk about family and child-friendly lifestyle. You guys, Southeast Asia is one of the most child-friendly places. Okay, and again, I'm saying Southeast Asia because y'all, Malaysia has a lot of like child-friendly things to do. I mean, even like the condos, if you rent a condo, even let's say on an Airbnb or a long term, you'll notice that they'll have like playgrounds, and you'll notice that they have like children's pools, and you'll notice at a certain time of day children who like live in the communities, they will come down to play in the pools, and the families will get together and just chit chat. I was really blown away by that experience in Malaysia. And if you look it up, they have so many things to do for children, so many activities. It is unbelievable, you guys. It is so child friendly, from the little things of when you go out to a restaurant. Most times they always have like a high chair or like children utensils. It's just the little things, or they'll have a space for children to play. It is so family friendly. Here in Bangkok, Thailand, also they have a lot of play groups and things like that. So even if your children are not in traditional school, you'll be able to engage in like co-ops or play groups, whether your child is an infant, a year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. It does not matter. They have sports activities, swimming clubs, um, cooking classes, just things that you can sign your children up for outside of traditional school during the day, during the week. Okay. And so that's why what I absolutely love with Thailand, so many family friendly things, so many things to do. And a lot of times, public restrooms, it's just the little things for me, you guys. It's just the little things for me. A lot of times, like public restrooms and stuff like that, you'll notice they will have a designated family changing room, baby changing room, an entire room with like a mini toilet and different things like that outside of like just the woman's room, because they understand that, families need a place for their children to, change and stuff like that. In Malaysia takes it a step further, and they have like breast pumping room, nursing rooms, private rooms. You have a few of them that they'll have a huge, it seems like a huge center kind of like tucked away like in the malls and stuff like that, where moms can go and they can nurse, they can breastfeed, they can change their babies. They'll have clean, purified hot and cold water. You guys, they actually think about families and babies. Okay. And that's what I love about Southeast Asia. So family friendly. So raising a family here feels so much easier, and you feel so much more supported. Childcare, like nannies, live-in nannies, live-out nannies, it's such a thing here. Like families are so supported here. Like women aren't expected to do it all. To be super strong and to do everything themselves, to clean, to cook, to wash, and like look after their children 24/7. There's so much support here and so much access to it as well. All right, you guys. Next thing, let's talk about efficiency and the systems. Okay, everyday conveniences here in Thailand. Things are so efficient here, you guys. When it comes to like pharmacies, convenience stores, things like that, it's literally everywhere. Like condos, they'll have like an actual store or like a 7-Eleven and things like that, like maybe downstairs in the building, maybe just like walking distance. So that way you don't necessarily have to drive or take transportation just to like grab something at the store or go grab water or things like that. When it comes to like the train systems, y'all, before, you could never really get me to take like public transportation. Well, no, let me not say that. I'm not referring to like in general public transportation. I'm talking about like trains, like subways and stuff like that. I think, to be honest, I think the New York train system, like subways and stuff like that, that rubbed me the wrong way. The first time I've taken like a train was in New York, you guys, and it was so dreadful. I'm just like, OMG, I never want to do this again. And I did ended up doing it a couple of times because I was like taking public transportation at the time, like in my early days of like living in the US. I did not have a vehicle as yet. And when I would like visit friends or something like that in New York, it was just the most annoying thing. Not just, well, the safety is one, like just crazy people everywhere, number one, but then like the cleanliness, right? It was just not clean. And then also people were just very, as a matter of fact, like very, um, people were just about themselves. It was just like very cutthroat type of thing. It was very, people were mostly like just to themselves, very fast paced. Like nobody really like looks at you. Nobody really like cares about how you're doing, what's going on with you. If you're lost, nobody cares about you. And it was just very like, it just seemed very hostile to me, in my opinion. That's my experience with taking like public transit, like subway, trains in the US, in New York, I should say. I did not like it at all. And so I was just like, I can't do it. I cannot do the train system. And so But anyway, here it is so different. Literally, I think I'll be taking the train for a while. I've been really enjoying getting out more and like taking the train, taking public transportation. What I love with here in Bangkok, like the BTS is what they call it, which is kind of like a sky train. It connects to a lot of like the major malls and major areas. So once you get off of that train, once you get off your exit, you are walking kind of like through a above ground like tunnel type of situation that is covered, so just in case it's raining and stuff like that, that connects you directly like within the mall or something, so you don't have to leave the transit or get out to then walk to where you're going necessarily. They have it to where it's connected to a lot of those malls, literally connected, which is so efficient and so convenient. And honestly, I'm kind of slow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of slow, you guys. And so I was a little bit nervous when it came to taking the transportation. That's why when I first moved to Bangkok, I loved taking it with my husband, and I never wanted to really take it without him unless we're taking it together. Because I'm like, he can figure it out. Okay, he will lead us. I don't gotta worry about it. But wives out there, if you know, right? And so, but now I'm really confident. I'm like, it's actually really not bad. It's so simple. Now it's just so easy to me. There's like two lines really on Sukhumvit. One goes directly to here, one goes directly to here. I know which line to get on to get home and which line to get on when I'm going anywhere else. And it's just very simple. Like how they have the system set up, it's very simple. Take it from me, again, someone who's very slow, okay, and intimidated by the complexity of how public transportations can be. At least in New York, like New York seemed very complicated to me. Like when I was based there, I used to be based there, by the way. I was a flight attendant for a major airline, Delta Airlines, and New York was one of their bases, and I was based in New York for a while. And I remember for like after I got hired and everything, the I guess like the orientation crew, they were so sweet to take us to New York to really like help us navigate the train system. At the time, I was driving my own car. I lived in South Jersey, and I had the option to just drive from South Jersey to New York to report to my trips. Reporting to a trip is like a 3-day trip, a 2-day trip, stuff like that. So it's not like I was going back and forth every single day. Because I'm sure some of you guys are probably like, what? You drove to New York every single day? Let me tell you about those tolls, by the way, okay? Those tolls, those tolls ate me dry, you guys. It was no joke. Those tolls back and forth from New York, even if it was just like once a week, a couple times a week, y'all. Anyway, I was like, when they showed us the system, the New York system, my brain was like fried. I'm like, what? This line, that line. Everything just seems so complicated to me with just a lot of people, with just too much. I don't really like being in environments where there's an overwhelming amount of people. And I know it sounds controversial because I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand. But here's the thing. Here in Bangkok, it just seems more organized. It's more like an organized chaos. You know what I mean? It's not super rushed. Like people aren't mean. It just doesn't feel overwhelming as like New York, right? And so I was like, forget this. I'm not even going to try to learn this system. I'm just going to drive my car. But anyway, back to efficiency. Everything is just so efficient here. I love how they'll have like pharmacies inside of the hospitals. Like if we were to go to a hospital to see a pediatrician or to see a doctor for either myself or my husband, or we needed some type of like ointment or something like that that they prescribe for us, we literally are able to pick it up right there in the vicinity. We check out to, we pay to see the doctor or whosoever, and we're able to pick up our prescription right then and there at the counter. We don't have to go somewhere, drive 15 minutes, 30 minutes away just to pick that up. They have the pharmacist right there inside of the hospital. If you want to see a gyno, if you want to see an orthopedic surgeon, if you want to see a brain doctor, a neurologist, if you want to see any type of specialist that you can think of that is available in the United States of America, you can walk in. Baby, you can walk in and you can see one of those specialists. You don't even need an appointment. You may have to wait for a little bit depending. But when I tell you they are overstaffed at the hospitals, I'm not even at the healthcare yet. I'm not even at healthcare yet, you guys, but I had to jump to that because it ties into the whole efficiency thing. So efficient, you guys. I was able to walk in when my back was hurting really, really bad the other day, weeks ago, and I walked into the orthopedic sports center within the hospital, and I was able to get seen within like an hour or so, and they prescribed me something and I picked it up right then and there. You guys, mind blowing. I'm telling you, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it. In the US, it's night and day. I don't even want to talk back about the experiences that I've had in the US when it comes to healthcare. I'll never forget taking our son to the children's hospital, supposed to be a nice children's hospital. By the way, what I love with Bangkok, Thailand also is that the children's hospital is also a part of like the main hospital. So you have a women's center, you have the children's floor, and on the children's floor they have like open play areas. Children can play. They actually design it to be child friendly. And so I never forget going to that hospital, children's hospital. You guys, we had to see like 6 people before we were seen by the doctor. Let me repeat that. We had to see about 6 people. One lady checked us in, asked me a bunch of questions, what was going on. I told her, she sat us down. Then another lady called us up, asked us a bunch of questions. What is going on? All of these questions. When did it start? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, I could have sworn I told that lady. She needed to see no, did she? No, she didn't have to see my ID again. And then another lady checked us, a nurse checked his vitals. They sat us back down. I'm like, okay, surely we're gonna see the doctor now. You guys, they brought us back there. We saw somebody who asked us for our IDs again. Can you imagine they asked me for my ID or our IDs again for a second time after we've checked in the first time, did the insurance thing, saw like 2-3 other people, and then went back there just for them to ask us for our IDs again. And then some other guy came. I thought he was a doctor. He wasn't even the doctor. Then the doctor finally came and saw us for like 5 minutes. Bruh. What? We were so irritated that night. Because we just wanted our son to be seen. We felt like it was an emergency, with his stomach or something. And it took so long for them to just look at our son. Baby, we've taken our son to the pediatrics or the hospital in Bali, Indonesia. It was so fast. As soon as we walked in, the nurse saw us. It was a he. He looked at us. He saw that we looked confused because we weren't sure. We ended up on like the emergency section. And he was like, "Are you guys okay? Can I help you? Everything?" He was genuinely concerned, and I was kind of explaining what was happening. And he immediately started checking my son's vitals. You guys, we did not even check in yet, okay? Nothing about insurance, IDs, nothing. He immediately just started checking the baby's vitals to make sure that he was at least okay. He was like, okay, he seems fine. But the pediatrics is upstairs, so go upstairs. I went upstairs. It seemed like what was like an executive suite. And then like an executive suite kind of set up, a very polished, nice setting. And checked in, and then within like 30 minutes or so, we were able to see the pediatric doctor. It was all said and done. We paid. The fee was like $70 to see the specialist, and this was not including insurance. We had healthcare insurance, but a lot of times we pay out of pocket for things like these, and then we'll submit it to the international insurance that we have, and we get reimbursed for it 100%. Okay, and he saw us, and we were able to pick up the medication right then and there too, like around the corner, inside the vicinity, on the same floor. Within 10-15 minutes, it was already done. That is efficiency, you guys, okay? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you just can't it's just night and day. The fact that you can get that level of service, that quality of service, top notch, for such a lower cost, it really shows you that the US is just out here ripping people off, man. And I don't want anybody on here saying about the cost difference and the US dollar is worth more in different countries and stuff like that. Let me tell you, here, especially in Thailand and different parts of the world, like, it just makes sense. The government is for their people. They make healthcare affordable for their people, regardless of what level economic class they are. So, for example, like I said, it costs us about the same here with like prescription and stuff like that. Maybe like $100 to see a specialist, and including the prescription, maybe $80 or something like that. $80 in Thai baht is about, let's see, 30 is about 3,000. Is about like 3,000 Thai baht. Okay, maybe 2,800 Thai baht, but let's say 3,000 Thai baht. 3 is 9. Yeah. $80 is about 3,000 Thai baht. The average salary here, like on the low end, is about maybe 15,000 Thai baht. 15,000 to maybe 20,000 Thai baht on the low end. So you're telling me that I can, I wouldn't say comfortably, it depends on people's budget and stuff like that, but someone can, out of their monthly salary, pay for healthcare without health insurance, let's say, because since people like to compare, the USD to the local currency and stuff like that, someone on a $15,000 salary, let's say $20,000 salary, right? Someone on a 20,000 Thai baht, I should say, salary, can pay 3,000 Thai baht to see the doctors, get their prescription if they had an emergency, and still be able to live, to go about their day and not be in debt, even without insurance. Compare that to the US. If you had to see a specialist and see all like, you're paying so much money, right? Like, things just makes more sense here, and you can tell that the government is for their people. So that's on that. When it comes to efficiency, like, there's so much that I can talk about when it comes to efficiency, like the dental offices, like just all the things. There's so many things that's so efficient here, which we absolutely love. Okay, now on to healthcare, affordability and efficiency. I pretty much covered a lot of that. So, as you guys already know, the healthcare is very affordable here. It's very efficient. It makes sense, and you're getting state of the art, like world class customer service. All right, final thing I want to touch on in this video is just overall the general quality of life, you guys. I literally feel like I am living my best life in Southeast Asia. Like, this morning I went to the gym. I was able to shower at the gym. The gym was really clean, by the way. The gym that I go to, it's only about $48. They have classes. It includes Pilates, Zumba, stepping classes, yoga, all the things, you guys. They have the newest machines and clean bathrooms and changing rooms. I was able to work out, shower, and now I'm here co-working in a beautiful vicinity. This is like a 8-story place. This building is so big. I'm on the 6th floor, and now I'm co-working. I can get something to eat at one of my favorite restaurants over here. It's just amazing. Quality of life is amazing. We have our nanny that helps us out. It's just simply... All right, you guys, I am back. Had to stop to get me some matcha. That's another thing, you guys. Matcha is so accessible here. Matcha is so accessible here. Like, literally everywhere that you go, you can get a matcha. Like, anywhere, any corner, 7-Eleven, anywhere, you can get something with matcha in it. It's amazing. Anyway, but that in general brings me to the overall quality of life. Okay, I do believe 100% that my quality of life living abroad, living in Southeast Asia, has elevated not just mine, but my family's quality of life in general. I mean, with all of that, to sum everything up, I mean, it's inevitable that your quality of life will be better. I feel so much more at peace. My nervous system is regulated. I feel so much more centered. The things that used to worry me or stress me out, let's per se, in the US, no longer does. And I just literally feel like I'm thriving. I do feel, now there are some cons, right? I'm not going to just sit here and say living abroad is like so perfect and there are no cons. I do miss, friends that we've been connected with, or, friendships that we've had in the US, being able to connect with friends in person. I really do miss that, to be honest. We were somewhat already living really far from family, from my husband's side and my side. So we kind of gotten used to that, to be honest. In regards to friendships, there are friends that we would hang out with in person, do like Bible study classes with in person. We still have that here, to be honest. Like, I'm slowly getting connected with these groups, and we've started to connect with different church groups and stuff like that. And they have like programs and groups and stuff like that we just need to get more involved in, to be honest. So it is available here. It's not like we're just isolated. Like, there are groups. Like I said, we now go to a multicultural church here in Bangkok, Thailand, with all different people from all different walks of life. And I'm slowly getting into those groups and something like that. But I do miss like friendships and connections. Friendships is what I would say. But outside of that, you guys, my quality of life, and the nanny that we have that helps us out. I mean, it just makes my life so much easier, to be honest with you guys. Like, my husband, he sees clients pretty much like at night. And so during the mornings, he's tired. He's mostly resting. And so it's really nice to have my nanny to help me out. She helps me out with laundry, washing, folding. She helps with tidying up. It's just so amazing, you guys. I can go to the gym. I can relax. I know that my husband, not my husband, but baby boy is like, in good hands and all of that. And so, yeah. Oh, and another thing is like, cost of living, right? So of course, like money does stretch a little bit further here. Like things are a lot less, things cost less is what I would say. And it's cost of living and things like that, it's all like relative. How you view the cost of things is all relative to, the amount of money that you make, how you view money, not just the amount of money that you make, but how you view money. Do you view money as energy, right? As an unlimited abundant source? Or do you believe that you just have to work so hard to make a dollar? So it really depends on how you view money as well. Okay. But yeah, in regards to housing, childcare, it's just so accessible here. And it fits into your life. It fits into your life also. It's not just like, oh, you have to spend an arm and a leg, and then you still have to drop your child off somewhere, you know what I mean? And you still don't know what's like going on, and you're still having all these issues. Versus like here, it's so accessible, it's so affordable, and it fits into your life. Like you can still be around your child all day if you want, while having that, care. I'm not saying that you can't have that in the US. You can absolutely have that in the US. Again, I say it's all relative, right? How much money you make and stuff like that. It is going to cost you a lot more in the US to have that level of childcare fit into your life like that. But yeah, in general, childcare, food, transportation, the infrastructure. I mean, I feel like it's easier as well to travel across Southeast Asia and even travel to like other African countries, which we plan on doing and stuff like that as well. So we're just closer in this hemisphere. It's just closer to a lot of the countries that we actually like, and countries that are also on our bucket list. So in regards to travel, it just fits perfectly into our lives. And I love that you're not trading constant survival mode for actually living. You get to live here and breathe versus being in this hustle culture. I'm not saying that people don't work here and people don't make a good living or anything like that, but it's just such a great balance in the culture here. It just makes sense. Like, yeah, so overall the family culture, it's just amazing, you guys. It's just so great. And I'm like going on and on about what I love about Southeast Asia. Yeah, there are some cons, I guess, and maybe I'll do another video. Let me know in the comments as well if you want me to do like a pros and cons type of video, and I will do it. Okay, I'm not afraid to share the cons as well. I'm just letting you know why Southeast Asia feels more like home to me right now. Okay, let me know if you like this video. By the way, comment, ask whatever questions you have in the comments so that I can respond to that. As you guys can see, this is a newer channel I'm building up. My main channel is Shy Baby the Empress, where I share like more business content, but I have been incorporating some travel and lifestyle on that channel. However, I want to really separate that and just have life with Shy Bivia, where I share mostly my lifestyle travel experiences with you guys, living abroad as a wife, as a mom, as an entrepreneur. So that's the goal of this channel. I'm probably going to be doing some vlogs here and there, but I want to do a lot more of these sit down videos where I can really share share certain topics with you guys about life abroad and things like that. All right, y'all. So in a sense, that is why I chose Southeast Asia as home. And honestly, you guys, once you have experienced this peace, this safety, this quality of life, the access to things, access to everything from healthcare, food, things to do. Once you have experienced that, you guys, it is so hard to go back. And I already know that if we were to go back to the US, I know I'm going to have a reverse culture shock. I already know, based on what I know to be true, okay? For living in the US for so many years, what I know to be true about the US and how things are going now. And I'm not even there. I feel really detached. I feel like I'm literally living in an escape. I really do. And so I honestly kind of dread going back, if I'm being honest. And so, yeah, once you've experienced this, it's so hard to go back. And so, if you have been curious about living abroad, curious about moving abroad, whether that be in general Southeast Asia, Thailand, I mean, even Mexico, somewhere in Europe, whichever, let me know in the comments. Let me know where you plan on going. But I will say this is that if you've been thinking about moving abroad, if it's been on your heart, do it. Please do it, especially if you're living in the Western Hemisphere right now. As you can see, it's going to pieces. I don't know what is going on, you guys, and I don't think that there is a lot of time left. I don't think that it's mendable. I don't think that I don't know if all of these things can be fixed, you guys. And for the people who ask why are I'm not necessarily running from anything. I'm running to what feels more easeful, what flows better for us, what feels better for us, right? That's what we are doing. We're not necessarily running from anything. I got confirmation, some time ago that it was time to leave, the US. And for those people who say, oh, people should just stay and fight, especially Black people should just stay and fight, what are you fighting for? I mean, it's been the same thing for like decades upon decades, centuries. Like, do you really think it's going to change in your generation and the generation to come? Do you really think so? And I don't have the energy to keep fighting for anything. Like, I just want to live my life at this point. Okay, things are never going to change. So, if you think it's going to change, good for you. But if you have been thinking about, it's time to leave, it's time to move abroad, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't wait too long. If you don't even have a passport, please get your passport. Please get your passport. If you have the option to get a second citizenship, stuff like that, please do it. Okay, please do it and do it ASAP. Okay, your family depends on it. Your peace of mind, your well-being, your safety depends on it. Okay, but hey, who am I to say? Who am I to say? But if you did like this video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, beautiful people, be blessed.
Me say me hustling from sun up to the night, build me empire.